What's up, everybody? It's waba, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about Cold Snap yet again, because, you know, some people have been messaging me about it as I've been playing it, and, you know, they've been saying that I'm like the only person talking about it or really using it, and it's going pretty well. And, you know, did this temple run here. I was able to pick up a Mask of the Stitch Demon, which synergizes very well with Trickster, obviously with Patient Reaper. A big thing here to remember is that you want to get as much intelligence as possible with a Mask of the Stitch Demon, because not only does it give you maximum life, but it also gives you percentage increased energy shield. And every 500 and maximum energy shield you get 1% life regen, which again scales with Patient Reaper, which is great. However, the downside of it being that you lose the mana that you gain from intelligence, which is actually pretty substantial, because especially if you are picking up a lot of intelligence. And it does really hurt mind over matter in the end. And actually, as of right now, I do not have enough mana on my build to cover like my maximum effective health pool with mind over matter. I actually need to drop life in order to do that, but at that point there's no reason to do that. I would actually almost have a less effective mind over matter with this build anyway, because I get so much life regen. I overall have more life regen than I have mana regen. So as long as I have enough mana to cast, fine, great. And yeah, the way that we actually fix that is just by getting as much flat mana on our gear, which obviously is going to be a little pricey because mind over matter is extremely meta right now. So anything with, like, if you get a ring with 70 life and 70 mana on it, that's going to be pretty valuable, especially if it has some other stats on it. Like a ring that would be ideal for me would be like 70 life, 70 mana, 50 intelligence, plus resist, right? Plus energy shield. You know, if I got that ring, that would be fantastic for me. But yeah, the damage on Cold Snap is feeling pretty decent. I am at about 100k Val Cold Snap damage for the dot. The only problem with Val Cold Snap is that I have a hard time maintaining Elemental Overload during Val Cold Snap, which Elemental Overload is a very big, probably one of the biggest multipliers of your build, being that it gives you 40% more elemental damage. So I would like to have Elemental Overload up more often than not, and I'm probably going to have to start using an Orb of Storm setup, especially whenever I am using a Val Cold Snap. Another thing that I want to get is the Soul Ripper unique flask. Now these are one sold for 12 exalts today on Incursion Hardcore. It was purchased by Waggle, one of my guildmates. Maybe some of you have watched Waggle's YouTube channel. You should definitely check him out. He knows what the hell he is doing. But he purchased one, and I am currently trying to snag one for myself as well, because I believe a Soul Ripper with a new Val Cold Snap could make for a very, very fun build, and I'm really hyped for that. It gives you 30 to 40% more damage with Val skills during its duration, and the way that you would have to use it is you would essentially use your flask, Val Cold Snap, and then before the flask duration is over, use Val Cold Snap again, and then you would be able to get, as soon as it's over, you would get your flash charges, and then use it again in Val Cold Snap, and you could maybe chain Val Cold Snaps and actually just use that for an entirety of the map, and that would be pretty cool. And also would actually also, like I said, put more emphasis on making sure that I have Elemental Overload up, because then I would actually be casting Cold Snap very rarely if that works out pretty well. That's also another reason why I think or what's good about this is that you then stop using your frenzy charges or power charges if you decide to go with a Winter's Bounty. I have moved beyond using a Winter's Bounty. I don't think it's necessary at all. But you would then actually maintain your frenzy charges completely. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I definitely want to use a Soul Ripper with Vow Cold Snap. And yeah, I don't know, it's feeling pretty good. Something I am thinking about doing, I would like to get Righteous Fire into my build, but as I said before, with Mask of the Stitch Demon, since you don't have that much mana, you may have a hard time maintaining Righteous Fire with a lower mana value. And if you do, then obviously that means you won't be able to use Cold Snap. I mean, you just won't have the mana. You won't have the mana for anything if you're not able to maintain it, which creates kind of a weird situation, a weird dynamic, and where the gear would be super expensive in order for you to maintain a Mind Over Matter build with Righteous Fire in this particular setup. The ways around this, though, there are a couple of ways around this. One being the new corruption that you can get on chess pieces that's reduced fire damage taken. That would help you do that. Another way to do it, though, is actually not to use a spell, a shield and like a weapon, but instead to use a staff. And if you use a staff, then you could potentially get blood magic on your staff, and that would be how you cast your Cold Snap. But then you have to worry about other things. You know, if you start using cold, and then you would drop all your mana nodes, so then you wouldn't really have any mana. Righteous Fire would just be draining your mana. You'd be at 0 mana. But good news is you could get about like 240% life on the tree, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. But then you would lose Arcane Surge, because now realistically you could no longer spend mana. But when it comes down to it, if you could choose Righteous Fire or Arcane Surge, well, Righteous Fire is better because it has more spell damage on it. And then you compare that with like a Vow Righteous Fire, and it gives you even more spell damage during this duration. So, I don't know, just something to think about. It's going pretty well. I hope you like the gameplay in the background. I've just been rambling about this and talking about it, and I do have a very, very interesting and cool video idea for Vow Cold Snap, if it works out the way that I want. And I think it will. So, but it's going to require a little bit of time, and I just want to make sure that it is up to par for the demands of the community. So, if you like this video, share it, whatever, do the whole business. Subscribe if you want to watch more of my content. Smash that bell so you can get video notifications or updates whenever I come out with a new video. And I want to say you can check me out on Twitch, but honestly, I'm not going to stream until I get a new computer, because I streamed yesterday with my PC and the game just felt like absolute garbage. I just need a new computer. You know, GTX 760, by the way. And I'm not going to keep saying it. So yeah. Follow me on twitch.tv/wabacha. Hopefully, I'll get a new computer in the next couple of months. That would be fantastic. And yeah, let me know how your Cold Snaps build is going. Don't be afraid of messaging me in game to ask me any questions, and I will provide my POB in the link below and my character profile so you can check it out and see how things are going. Also, like I said, since I've been rambling, if there are any questions about anything, something that I didn't touch on enough or didn't touch on at all, let me know. Thanks, guys. See you later. Enjoy the rest of this temple run. There's not too much longer.